Now, let's make things a little more formal with an official definition. What is generative AI? Gen AI is a type of artificial intelligence that creates new content based on what it has learned from existing content. The process of learning from existing content is called training and results in the creation of a statistical model. When given a prompt, Gen AI uses a statistical model to predict what an expected response might be, and this generates new content. It learns the underlying structure of the data and can then generate new samples that are similar to the data it was trained on. Like I mentioned earlier, a generative language model can take what it has learned from the examples it's been shown and create something entirely new based on that information. That's why we use the word generative. But large language models, which generate novel combinations of text in the form of natural sounding language, are only one type of generative AI. A generative image model takes an image as input and can output text, another image, or video. For example, under the output text, you can get visual question and answering, while under output image, an image completion is generated, and under output video, animation is generated. A generative language model takes text as input and can output more text, an image, audio, or decisions. For example, under the output text, question and answering is generated, and under output image, a video is generated. I mentioned that generative language models learn about patterns in language through training data. Check out this example. Based on things learned from its training data, it offers predictions of how to complete this sentence. I'm making a sandwich with peanut butter and jelly. Pretty simple, right? So, given some text, it can predict what comes next. Thus, generative language models are pattern matching systems. They learn about patterns based on the data that you provide. Here is the same example using Gemini, which is trained on a massive amount of text data and is able to communicate and generate human-like text in response to a wide range of prompts and questions. See how detailed the response can be? Here is another example that's just a little more complicated than peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. The meaning of life is... And even with a more ambiguous question, Gemini gives you a contextual answer and then shows the highest probability response.